Today we're at the Board of Elections office with Director Dane Beavers. And Dane, it's good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you, Wayne.
Now, yesterday was a big day in voting world. I don't know if people even knew this, but yesterday was National Registration, Voter Registration Day.
Yes, it certainly was, Wayne. It's a once a year event. We didn't have a big turnout here in Wayne County because, typically we get most of our interest comes around big election cycles, presidentials, governors, stuff like that. So we have a little election coming up in November. It's a municipal and a sanitary district election. And we're hoping to get the word out today to try to get people aware that this election coming up is a very important election, especially if you live in one of those municipalities that is participating. This is a time when you elect people who have real impact on your daily life.
Direct impact.
Direct impact.
Right.
Maybe a lot more than what you'll typically experience with a federal congressman or something like that. Those are the guys we see on TV and hear about big laws they're working on, legislation. But these people that we're voting on now are the people who make decisions on your everyday life.
That's right.
And they will have an impact on you. And we typically see people in our office when they're not real happy with their leaders. And unfortunately, Wayne, we get about a 3 to 5% turnout typically for a municipal sanitary district election. So let's just do an example. In this one, there's about 35,000 people that are qualified to vote. If we get a 3% turnout, we're talking about like 1,500 people. So,
and those 1,500 will be making the decision for all 35,000.
That's right. That's exactly right. And then I see people come in and they're not happy with the way their city is being run or the decisions that are made by their council members or whatever it may be. And they want to know, why didn't I know about the election? And we try to get the word out, and we post it on our website, and we do newspaper articles and things like that, and talking with you and trying to get the word out to hopefully people will show up and vote. The county spends the money, and we put the effort in, and we want you to be there. We want to see all 35,000 of those folks vote.
Now, Dane, I tell you, what you just said should drive home a point, and the point is, and this is my opinion, I'm going to throw my opinion out there. As an American, as a voter, I'm almost to the point of being embarrassed at how few people vote. It's just the apathy is amazing. I cannot understand that this nation has been through what it has been through over the last 200 plus years, and here we are, and people just, I've got more important things to do. It's what it seems like. And you're right, these town and municipalities and district elections are extremely important. So if you have a complaint, if you didn't vote, I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry.
Well, you got a good point, Wayne. And we live in a nation that allows the freedom to vote and for us to select our leaders. And you'll hear the people say, "Well, if you don't vote, you can't complain." And I'm one that stands behind that. You really need to get out there and have your opinion chosen, choose your leaders, and then you can complain with them and get to know them, get to know who they are, go down and visit them, go to the courthouse or the center where your elected officials are meeting and observe a meeting and participate in the decisions that are being made that affect you and your family.
That's exactly right. There's a lot of people that don't feel that they have a voice in what. That's right. But see, the thing is, you're electing people to speak for you. That's what makes this a republic. We operate under a constitutional republic, and that's how we operate.
That's right, and I think people would be surprised, Wayne, if you really showed up in mass to participate in the meetings when decisions are being made. If they had a big crowd of residents, constituents that were unhappy with their decisions, I think that would have a bigger effect than maybe a phone call, or a lot of times they come here to the Board of Elections and complain to me. And, I understand, but there's not a thing I can do about
That's
it.
right. That's right. You just count and tabulate the votes.
That's right.
That's what you do.
That's right.
Dane, when is this election?
Election date is November 7th.
Okay.
We vote from 6:30 till 7:30.
All right.
On November 7th. We start early voting on the 19th of October.
Okay.
And we're going to do that here in our office. This will be the only location for early voting. We combine all the municipalities into one site and do that here. So if you want to vote early from October 13th through November the 4th, you can come here and vote in our office during regular business hours, Monday through Friday.
You're at the Board of Elections
That's
office
right, Board of
on
Elections.
South William Street in Goldsboro.
209 South William Street in Goldsboro.
All right.
We're open from 8 till 5, Monday through Friday, through those dates. We will not be open on the weekends, but we will be open on that last Saturday, which is October 4th, during the morning hours only. So if you come down, I think 9 till 1 on that final Saturday, we'll be conducting early voting.
Okay.
Now, you can also register to vote. Let's talk about registration.
All right. Well, now let me ask you this before we get to that.
Okay.
Exactly who will be voting here? It's the city of Goldsboro, town of Mount Olive?
Well, that's a good point, Wayne. This is municipal elections for almost all municipalities in Wayne County, other than the city of Goldsboro.
Oh, the city will not vote.
The city has nothing in this election.
Okay.
So, and that includes sanitary districts.
Okay.
So if you live within the city limits of Goldsboro, there is nothing for you to vote on in this November election.
Okay.
Now, we have an election coming up not long after that in May. That's when we start our midterm primaries. So that will include everybody.
Okay.
So if you live in the city of Goldsboro, your next election, big election date is going to be in May of 18.
Okay. Now, for this election, we're talking municipalities. Would that be Mount Olive?
It is Mount Olive, and I have a list.
And-
Let me
okay.
get a list
Okay,
so I can
that's
just write
good.
them
Yeah,
out.
let's-
There's a lot of municipalities, and I'll give you this. You can post it on your website,
Great.
and we can run it just to remind people.
All right.
We've got the Village of Walnut Creek
Right.
has 2 council seats open. Town of Pikeville has the mayor and 2 commissioner seats. Eureka has the mayor and 2 commissioner seats. Seven Springs, mayor and 2 commissioner seats, with 1 additional commissioner seat being an unexpired term. And the town of Mount Olive is the mayor and all 5 commissioner seats. Mount Olive elects all of their candidates every 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. Then our sanitary districts are Belfast-Patetown, Eastern Wayne Sanitary, Southern Wayne, Fork Township, and Southeastern Wayne. Now, if you're within a sanitary district, you can participate in this election, but don't be mistaken with the thought that just because you pay for your water through, for example, Belfast-Patetown, you may or may not be within the sanitary district lines. Those lines have not been updated since they were drawn. Obviously, the water service has expanded outside of the original lines that were drawn for sanitary districts. So it gets rather confusing.
Yes, I should say.
It certainly does. So we ask that if you're not sure, just call our office, and we can look you up in our system and make sure you don't waste your time and go to the polls or something and find out you're not eligible to vote in this election. You can call our office at 919-731-1411. And we're here 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and we'll be more than happy to look you up on our system and help you understand all of your voting rights.
You're telling me that you actually want people to call you.
Actually want people to call us. That's right.
I know you do.
Yes,
That's
we
why-
do. Yes,
that's why I said
sir.
that.
I'd much rather for you to do that than, jump in your car and drive around town
Yeah.
and not know where to go, or maybe not even know if you're eligible to vote.
So you encourage people with any question at all about voting, if they have trouble, they can get this information online.
You can. You can go to our website,
Right.
waynevotes.com. We have self lookup tools on there that you can look up where you live. It'll tell you every district, every congressional, Senate, House, state, federal, everything you're qualified to vote for. Obviously, people know this already, but voting is set depending on your residential address. So it changes for everybody, and sometimes people get a little confused with that. But if you are, like I said, call us, go to our website, look it up. We want to make sure that you know that you know when and where you should go.
Right, exactly. So you need to know exactly where you need to go to vote, and you need to vote, providing you are. What are the qualifications for a voter? What you have to be? You have to be 21.
Oh no, not 21.
18.
You get to start before you're 21.
Well, see, never mind. That goes way back.
Yeah,
It
probably
used to be
does.
21 100 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of other restrictions 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But now you need to be an American citizen.
An American citizen.
You need to be 18 years of age.
And what about someone who has become a naturalized citizen?
A naturalized citizen is perfectly fine. As a
Eligible
matter of
to vote.
fact, we just conducted a naturalization ceremony at the Wayne Community College last week, or week before last, and we registered a lot of folks there. Right as soon as they finished taking the oath, we registered them right there on the spot, and now they're going to participate in the next election.
That is one. I got goosebumps just thinking
Yeah,
about that. That's
yeah.
great, man. That is great.
It is. And so we encourage you to do it. Get out and vote, and if you need to, help your neighbors get registered. Registration deadline for this election is on October the 13th.
Okay.
And the good part about it is if you miss that date, you can come down and vote and register on the same day at our early voting site here in our office on 209 South William Street.
Okay. Now, I didn't mean to lead you astray there, but to qualify to vote, you need to be 18. You need to be an American citizen.
American citizen, 18 years of age.
Right.
And
Living at a certain residence.
you need to be, to vote in Wayne County,
Right.
that's right, you need to be a resident of Wayne County for at least 30 days.
30 days.
That's
Okay.
right. Mhm.
All right. Now, do you need to show an ID when you register?
No, you don't have to show an ID. We need we ask for some information to help make sure you are who you say you are and you live where you say you live. That being a driver's license number or the last four of your social security number. Now, that won't stop you from voting, and that's not asking for a photo ID. As we all know, the laws have changed frequently.
Frequently is the word.
Frequently in the last couple of years.
Yes.
And the way it stands right now is there is no requirement for a photo ID. We simply use part of your social security number to match it with your name so that we have some proof that you are who you say you are and you do live where you say you live, because those are the requirements that allow us to make you an active registered voter.
And I'm sure there's some who would say, well, how do you know for sure? How do you know they're telling the truth? I'm not going to ask you to tell us how you know, but there are ways.
There are ways. We match databases, and we work with the DMV, and we work with the Social Security Administration in matching databases. And if you do decide you want to try to commit some fraud, it is a felony offense.
A felony offense.
It's a felony offense.
It's against the law.
It's against the law, and you can be prosecuted for that. And people are taking it more serious now than they ever did before.
Well, good.
But I feel good about Wayne County. We don't have a large amount of fraud or anything. Most of the time when we run across issues like that, Wayne, it's somebody who made a mistake. It's somebody who voted early and maybe forgot they did and showed up again at the polls on Election Day.
And that does happen.
It happens. It happens to, things happen. And we investigate those issues, and we've not found any huge amount of fraud going on in Wayne County. So you can be sure your vote will count, and it will be registered correctly in your votes. And you can, everything we do here in the elections office is open to the public. We're transparent. We don't do anything behind closed doors.
That is so true. You really are.
We want people to feel comfortable, and we want you to feel good about casting your vote.
Yeah. Now, yesterday was Registration Day, International or National Registration Day. And you started to touch on that just a moment ago. What else would you like to add about Registration Day or registering to vote?
Well, I was going towards we have our registration cutoff date for this election,
right.
which I think touched base on
October
13th.
Right.
And then the other part I just want to mention was we still have early voting, so you can register and vote on the same day. So if you miss that 13th date, you're not out of luck. You can still just come down here. You need to vote prior to Election Day. Now, if you wait till Election Day and you didn't get registered, you're still going to be given a ballot. We give you a ballot called a provisional ballot because we want to make sure that nothing got caught up in between. And we'll do some research, but you're really not eligible if you didn't meet any of those deadlines and you waited till Election Day. Your vote probably won't be counted.
Okay. Now, and I know you take great strides in making sure that the votes count, that everybody who votes is eligible, and that everything is above board and completely.
That's right, Wayne. We do.
Correct.
We have a board here now. Right now, it's 3-member board who make all the decisions here, and we're in court right now to decide if that may go up to a 4-member board. But those are the people that makes the decisions, and they're all made in open public meetings, and we present the election results as we have them on election night. Then we spend the next 10 days doing an extensive audit. We have random precincts that are selected by state board members, and we're required to count those votes by hand. And then we go back and match the numbers up that we did by hand. They have to match exactly what we did on election night, what we reported. If there's any discrepancies, then we have to go back and try to figure out what happened there. It's a process of just an audit, random audit that the entire state does. And every county and every in the state, every county has to be has 2 or 3 polling places are selected to have hand counts, and those numbers have to match. So we do, in the state of North Carolina, we have some good rules and regulations that make sure that our numbers are right to the best of our ability, and I feel good about it. I've been here in North Carolina since 2005, working elections.
I remember when you came.
Yes,
sir.
I feel good about the system here, and it works well.
I can't believe it's been 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
time flies when you're having fun.
I guess we're having fun here. Well, now let's talk about what's going on behind us here. Stand right over there. I'm going to walk around behind you here. We're going to let the camera focus on what we're seeing there. We're looking at the county's, the Board of Elections website, which is waynevotes.com. Is it .com or .org?
It's .com.
.com. WayneVotes.com is that election. Now, and it rotates with information here. In the lower left-hand corner down here, we can see where it says absentee by precinct official. It changed on me. Become a precinct official.
These are some slides that go, and we just have some links on the slides that take you to other links that are on the page. Obviously, this one is for candidate filing information. When candidate filing for this election is passed, we have some basic statistics. On the big red boxes down the bottom, it takes you to a quick voter registration form. You can download that at home, fill it out, sign it, put it in the mail, or bring it down here to our office, drop it off. That'll get you registered. Absentee request form for people who have problems getting to the polls. Maybe you're going to be out of town, you're going to leave the country during the entire early voting cycle. You can go right here and fill out an absentee request form. It's no excuse needed. You just fill out the form, send it down to our office, and we'll make sure we mail you a ballot anywhere in the world you happen to be.
So if you're out of town, out of the state, out of the country, all they have to do, regardless of the reason, is request an absentee request form, and you will mail them the ballot.
That's right. We process absentee ballots on a daily basis, and they are the first ballots that get mailed out of this office. So if you request an absentee ballot, you'll be the first one of the first group to receive a ballot for that election.
And I also see that that the voters can look up early voting locations, which the next election it will be here in this office.
That's right.
But there'll be several during other elections. There'll be other locations that they can vote early.
Yes, Wayne. We open up anywhere from 1 to 5 remote voting sites for early voting. It's worked real well for us. We did 5 in the presidential election in last November, and we had no waiting times across the county. So we were real proud of that. You could vote in Wayne County in the presidential election with nobody ever waited more than 10 or 15 minutes.
I saw that, and that is just amazing, the way that worked out. There used to be some extremely long lines, and people would have to wait for hours to vote. And now with early voting, you don't have to do that, and this has proven to be a very straightforward process.
That's right, Wayne. It takes a lot of pressure off of our polling places.
Yes.
As you know, our county grows, and our polling places have limited parking. So, and if everybody that was registered in a polling place showed up there around the same time, we would have problems.
Big problems, yeah.
So early voting alleviates that.
Right.
And we're real happy with our early voting process. And our goal is to make it as convenient and quick as possible for our voters. They can stop by at lunchtime, go in 10 minutes, go in, vote, and be out and on your way. So the old excuse is I don't have an hour or two to stand in line. That don't hold up in Wayne County.
Don't want to hear it. All right, come right back over here. Let's go ahead and get back here on camera so that you might note also there was a question on there is how do I know I'm registered to vote or something like that. You can find out easily that you're registered to vote.
That's right. Some of the links across this top of the screen, it says voter information. If you click on that, it'll drop down a menu and it'll let you look up your own registration. It'll tell you every district and commission district you're in, and all the information you need to know. And like I said, if you're confused with it or you have any trouble with it all, just give us a call and we'll walk you through it.
So that's 919-731-1411, 919-731-1411, right?
That's right, Wayne.
Dane, I appreciate you taking time to talk with us. I know you're a busy guy. I'll
My
let
pleasure.
you go, and I appreciate you. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank you, Wayne.
Dane Beavers, Director of the Board of Elections here in Wayne County.